I was actually looking for another book at the time. I couldn't remember the author's name, so I looked at everything. Whilst perusing, I spotted what turned out to be the third book in their series. Hunting Volume 1, I was sold by a reviewer comment on the front. Starship Troopers meets Schwarzenegger's Commando. Best pitch ever. Ex-Legion Sergeant Sven is about to be executed when his base is wiped out. He survives and by luck, skill or design ends up in the Death's Head, sort of a cross between the Royal Marines and the SAS in that they do black ops as well as the hard fighting. One thing leads to another and he ends up in a war that is a tad unwinnable. And if I tell you much more of the premise than that, it'll spoil pretty much the whole book. Present tense throughout, the prologue is in third person present, whilst the rest is in first person. Although this is the third or fourth book I've read that uses first person present, I'm still not entirely sold on it. Even though it worked here, to me it often relies too heavily on plot contrivances in order to see events that our hero is not directly involved in, such as being conveniently placed to eavesdrop a vital staff meeting. Nevertheless, Gunn makes it work. First things first, the blurb on the back is a little bit rubbish. The first and largest paragraph describes chapters 1 and 2, the second paragraph is not the case at all, and the last paragraph has very little to do with what actually happens. It's a good thing that it had the recommendation on the cover, or I might not have actually bought this book. Which would have been a shame, as this is a lot of fun to read. The main thing this has going for it is the setting. This is nasty, brutal, totalitarian regime done dirty. The best analogy I can give is Warhammer 40k, but with a bit more edge. By which I mean, whilst the Black Library tends to shy away from some of the more graphic details, Death's Head revels in them. Sven is probably the hardest motherfucker in the galaxy, but with soft spots in all the right places. He's a bastard, but he's my kind of bastard. As this is told in first person present, it means we constantly get Sven's take on people and situations, which are frequently hilarious. I think it would be fair to say that this book drips sarcasm. The action is fast, frequent and bloody, and even though it's all told from one man's perspective, in the larger battles you still get a sense of the scale of the thing, of how many soldiers, of the rate of attrition and so forth. The only significant problem I had was with the narrative consistency. On one occasion a colonel became a lieutenant, on another occasion Sven was having a discussion with a group of characters and we're told that one character has always had his say, but flicking back a few pages I'll be damned if I could tell you what his say was or when he said it. Also, if I'm being picky, it is at times a little difficult to sympathise with Sven when he's at his most callous. Yes, it's a callous galaxy, but when his inspirational orders are get up there and die, you can't help but go, you what? That apart, this is still a fine read where some of the most entertaining moments aren't the battles. Recommended if you like insubordinate, sarcastic, not quite heroes who kick ass, take names and get laid.